So since today's video is about turbos and turbo noise, I figured we'd start out on the Lingenfelter and see if we can't make the Bronco sound as cool, if not cooler, than the Lingenfelter with that blow-off valve spacer. The Lingenfelter is 427 twin turbo, and the turbo noises are pretty good. But let's go ahead and go out for a quick rip. Ooh, getting a little squirrely. We weren't even in the boost yet. Oh yeah. I don't know if we'll get those turbo noises with the Bronco. It's just a blow-off valve spacer, but gosh dang. Yeah, I don't mind that flashing check engine. It's just cat deficiency, you know. Alright, so now we're in the Bronco, and we are going to go ahead and install that blow-off valve adapter from Boomba Racing. It is version 2 and adjustable, so you can adjust how much air is recirculated or vented to the atmosphere. Should be a pretty easy install, and we'll see if we can get as cool of turbo noises as the Lingenfelter, the twin turbo Vette. And also we're going to be installing some of the Gatorback mudguards up front because, well, I drive on a lot of gravel roads and whatnot, and, well, the rockers are getting abused. Alright, now for the mud flap install here. Got some instructions. Looks pretty simple. Got a couple brackets, and I did get the ones with the rock rails because I have the Sasquatch package. Thanks Ford for the points. Bought me one set of front mud flaps. Cool. So if you take a look at these mounting brackets here, it looks like from the video I watched, one side is closed, one side is open. So with the current configuration I have here, the closed side would go like such over here. Alright, after we got that mounted, we go ahead and take our L brackets and mount it as such. This orientation here, the slanted edge goes inboard, have you. So next piece, this is the Z mounting bracket, and it goes on the flat side. Mount it there. Alright, so on these mud flaps here, looks like there's a little piece that you pull out. And then on the end there's a little securement thing that you can just slide off, and then the mud flap slides in like so, and you slide on the little retainer like such. Alright, next thing we're going to be doing here is removing these factory push pins here, and they come out with a Phillips, and then after that we will go ahead and take these little U-nuts and slide them on back there. Alright, so getting these push pins out are an absolute pain. I just took a knife and got it under the screw and pried them out of there because we're not going to be using them anyways. Absolute stupid design for a push pin. But now we just go in behind here and slide in the U-nuts over that flange. Alright, so now the blow-off valve install was actually pretty simple. I didn't really film it because it is simple. There's just a couple tips that I have for you guys here. Now I tried to install it in the 10 minutes I had before I had to go head out for a movie, and I didn't accomplish that because the bolts were not lining up. That is because the triangle is cut in a specific way, so it only goes on one way. So you have to twist it around until all the bolt holes line up. Otherwise, sometimes you only get one or two to fit. So one side of the triangle is shorter than the other, and it only goes on one way. And then the other tip I have is to make sure that your bolts are going in straight. There's always a possibility that if you put them in crooked, you could crack this. It's just plastic. But other than that, simple install. I used the longer bolts that came with it and did not use this little spacer that's on the harness to originally hold it up here. So I just zip tied it down here. Lastly, the screws are pretty hard to screw in, so you're gonna have to use some force. These two I was able to use a longer screwdriver over here, but this one on the back I had to use a short little stubby one because there's not much room, and you want to make sure that you get a nice seal here, that there's no gap and it does not wiggle around. So now that the blow-off is installed, let's go ahead and get some sound clips and see if it sounds better than the twin turbo Corvette. like that compressor, dude. Is that wired to an aux switch?
Yeah,
also?
that's wired to, I got an aux 6.
6.
But it gets the power from the battery via this because it takes so much power. So this this is for the air compressor, which runs into the battery. Same with the light. So
where's your light wired to?
These are the 2 lights, 2 pod lights connected onto the battery.
Yeah.
And then I've got the aux connection to aux 1, which I'll probably change because I think aux 1 has the highest amps. I think it's like 25.
30.
30?
Yeah, and then 2 is 15, but that can be changed, and then the rest are 10. I'm gonna do my light bar on 2 probably. So it sounds pretty sick from the inside. Now I want to hear it myself from the outside. So got my brother in there, and we'll see what it sounds like when you're driving around. Nice. Sounds so good. Can't wait until we get an exhaust on this thing. Nice. Oh man, she's about to look so good with the mods coming for it. So the blow-off valve is installed. Now, how does it compare to a twin turbo car with actual blow-offs and big wastegates and all that? So, I guess let's go ahead and pull out the Bronco and compare. Wait, you guys aren't supposed to hear that yet. Alright, so, my opinion, arguably the Bronco has a better blow-off than the Lingenfelter. But on the Bronco, the blow-off valve is so pronounced, but I like how it vents so the next 3 cars can hear and know that you indeed do have a blow-off valve. So yeah, this mod is pretty much just for pure sound enjoyment and being obnoxious, if you want to consider that obnoxious. You don't get any shoo-too-toos or spool noise, but if you're after blow-off, I think it sounds pretty good. But make sure you stay tuned for more Bronco content because as you can tell, we already have a bunch of mods on this thing and we have videos coming for them. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what's to come on the Bronco since you guys stuck around to the end, and I certainly do appreciate that. Oh. And there's that, and of course something under here. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned for the upcoming Bronco content. Also, I hope you enjoyed the somewhat very opposite turbo comparison. They're both turbos, but 2 very different cars. But with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.